Paradise Killer on the Xbox One, video number 2 of a game that I obtained from the Maryland Library System. After I went into the previous the previous video, basically blind. No idea what to expect, didn't know a thing about it. I do what I normally do when I go to the library, and that is just kind of I get at least one game that I want to play. Like I really want it, like a game I have to play. Maybe a couple of games I've never heard of. And like a couple of games I've heard something about, but I don't know what to expect. And this was one of the ones in the middle, one of those games I knew nothing about. Turns out, based on some of the reviews I read, this thing was very well regarded when it originally came out. Like 9 and 9, like perfect scores in a lot of places. Mostly because of this music, this baller, early 1980s city pop. Yeah, it sounds like Snatcher meets. It sounds like Snatcher. It sounds like One Night Neo Kobe. It is a vaporwave vibe. You wander this world in a first-person view at 30 frames a second, and you listen to some chill vaporwave music. That is the vibe. I don't say that's the game, but the game is a first-person adventure game where you wander around the map. You press the left trigger the left trigger to look around and talk to these individuals here on your waypoint. And those dialogue trees allow you to unlock other missions, which I'm hoarding right here. This is ostensibly a mystery. But what's the mystery? Well, the mystery is go to these. The mystery is a bunch of fetch quests, I would argue. You go to a quest giver, they tell you to find stuff, we find stuff, we give it to them, and they unlock leads on the murder mystery, I suppose. Now, the most important thing to me, other than, the way this game looks, which is actually kind of striking, and the music, which is amazing so far, is this is a first-person game that seems to get a lot of mileage out of there are two guards there. Where am I specifically? But again, it's a first-person game. So this place is oddly depopulated, but since you're basically just hiking from one you're basically hiking from one NPC to another, but along the way you're picking up little red crystals called blood crystals, which are the currency you need to unlock stuff in this game. Unlock other missions, unlock progress. I've been told there are items you're supposed to interact with that give you other things that unlock more of the game and even a few power-ups, which we'll get to later, I suppose. I haven't done those yet. Here's your map. There is a fast travel ability, but I haven't quite been able to make sense of it because I've only unlocked one area. So unlock the second area in just a second. Yeah, Austin Walker over at Vice called the music lo-fi remixes of Jeffrey Osborne's "What You Won't Do for Love." Yeah, this is basically early '80s. It's early '80s neo soul. Lots of synth, lots of synth, lots of saxophone, like "Careless Whisper" from Wham, that kind of thing. I said I mentioned Kenny G, Herb Alpert. Some people might snidely call it elevator music. I think that's being mean. We could go up, but I need an update to my computer. And I believe there is a broken vending machine that has an upgrade to my computer that I will need, so we'll get around to that. Where is that? Uh, okay, it's listed here. Just a second. Potential leads. Again, speaking to people unlocked these threads. These. You can call them like conversational keywords in a dialogue tree. But apparently, most of the dialogue tree stuff in this game is on Rails. Because when I was playing, I would play at the end of my previous video, which was 2 hours long. It didn't look like I could fail any of the dialogue trees. It just looked like just pick every option that appears and then leave. That's what I did. But that's fine because I'm unlocking a bunch of this crap. Where is your Yuri Knight? Gita Jackson jokingly called it Fujoshi, but anyway. I need. Okay, but there was supposed to be a. Where's the vending machine? Yeah, one of the ghosts I did. You saw the little specter I walked past earlier. That ghost mentioned something about a broken vending machine, right? Be a Starlight. Yeah, there might be a Starlight upgrade at the bottom of this green box right here. There might be a Starlight upgrade jammed in a broken vending machine in a warehouse. Okay. Let me get this microphone down just a second. Because I want to hear this music. And you want to hear it too. I won't be able to crop it out because it's playing in the background. It's just ambient noise at this point. Okay, where's the map? It took me like half an hour to like really start playing the game in earnest last time. And I said, okay, I'll play for an hour. And then I said, okay, then I'll play for an hour and a half. Then I said, okay, then I'll play for 2 hours. So I kept getting lured into other areas because of these because of these red blood crystals I'm finding everywhere. There are lots of things to pick up as you play. Let's go up, see what we can find. So we'll head up. Now, I don't know what I'm going to find up there, but again, part of the fun of this game is kind of wandering around this open world and picking up stuff like this. Polite luxury chocolates obtained. Adorable. Yeah, a lot of this music it sounds like telephone hold music, which I'm not complaining about. Okay, here's our boy. Overseer of the end of the islands. The witness to the end. I'm the investigation freak, in case you're wondering. Everyone has these bizarre nom de guerres, which I kind of like Doctor Doom Jazz. You probably saw in the little computers in the menu screen back there. I'm Lady Love Dies. There's Doctor Doom Jazz. There's this guy, the witness to the end. So for people who don't like Hideo Kojima character nomenclature, well, this is way better. Yeah, this is way better than Revolver Ocelot. I'll be the first to admit that. So yeah, I'm a fan. So yeah, her three part name is not a serial killer name, even though it includes Dies as her last name. So is Love like her middle name, or is it or is it part of her last name? Yeah, I guess Lady. I guess okay. Okay, we put it this way: Lady is her title, Love is her first name, Dies is her surname. We'll put it that way. Again, this is T Square, Konami Kokoweha Club. I forget how you pronounce their names. This is them doing an arrangement of their old Police Knots music. Is what this sounds like. Yeah, yeah, lots of Sade, lots of guitars lots of yeah, it's an instrumentalized version of the soul music you probably heard growing up in the '80s, like I did. Yeah, like what was that DMX song that was resampled? Yeah, Have You Ever Loved Someone? I forget who actually sang it, but yeah, Patrice O'Neal, crap like that, you know. Yeah, '80s soul music, basically. It's time to weave some truths, not do. Wait, I wasn't paying attention. Another sinner is from the land into heresy. Okay, and a lot of the dialogue is extremely pretentious, but it's pretentious in like a lot of the characters are up. Yeah, a lot of the characters are up their own rear ends with their own philosophy, so they really lean into themselves. They're extremely self satisfied with the things they say. Oh, it's "Can't Stop the Feeling" by Justin Timberlake. I got this feeling inside my bones. Right. We're doing this. We're doing the whole thing, aren't we? Everyone was just over the moon with the music. By the way, you can tell a lot of the reviewers like grew up listening to vaporwave or found a vaporwave YouTube channel they listen to in the background. Confirm. So again, I like how you can like choose which option to use for your tone of voice. But honestly, again, you can't really fail these dialogue trees. I don't think. Though I would argue that choosing each option is what unlocks all the other options in the game as far as dialogue choices. Yeah, see, so we've unlocked this part of the dialogue tree, so we're just gonna play it all out. We're gonna roll down every single dialogue option here, and that's it. No, I think all we're really doing is unlocking other parts of the game, unlocking other missions, unlocking again, we're unlocking clues. And I just mentioning this in passing, someone on Reddit was joking that, look, I beat the game by literally just talking to every individual, picking every dialogue option, and then just exiting. So, and I figured that out at the end of the last video, where I'm like, you know what? There doesn't seem to be like a choice here. Some people might be sassier, see, like stuff like this. You can be. I guess you can play good cop, bad cop. I guess the problem is that I don't think there's any way to really make a wrong choice. Like I mean, I haven't played Disco Elysium. I believe I bought it. I don't know. Again, this sounds dumb. I don't know if I bought Disco Elysium. It was a $10 game at one point because GameStop was selling out a bunch of them. The GameStop's doing a weird thing where you can buy like any game less than $30, any used game less than $30, you can buy 3 of them for 60. So if there's a Nintendo Switch game, for instance, that's stubbornly stuck at $30, yeah, you could probably pick it up for 20. But GameStop tends to do that. They'll have a list of games that like probably expect to go down in price, but they elevate the price artificially. So, but they know the game is only worth 20, but they keep the price at 30, so that when a buy 2 get one free thing comes around, they end up doing that. That's basically what they're doing. You're buying You're buying 2 games under $30 and getting one free. No, I didn't buy any because look, I've got too many games, but I think the argument is this would be the time to get Switch games that are going to drop in price, but won't drop in price very quickly. Yeah, this is the song. Investigate her behavior. But this sounds exactly like an arrangement Konami would do for their old Sega CD music. Because I've listened to a lot. Some of the first video game music I found on the internet was Police Knots remixes, which again sound like it's like T Square's version of the Snatcher music. So you can't really blame, like, again, for people who grew up in the era listening to video game music from Japan. There was a lot of Red Book music that probably had arrangements that sounded like this. Not like Falcom rock arrangements or anything like that, but like, the jazz, the 80s jazz city pop crap you probably grew up listening to when you watched your anime back in the 80s, the OVAs in the 80s. Maybe I forget if California Crisis had music like this. You can pull record. But of course, the question then becomes, okay, if you want to play this game without playing this game, you could probably just play like a first person, you could probably play Skyrim. Well, there's combat in Skyrim. You could play a first person game, just kind of have this music playing in the background, and it gives you the same vibe. But I mentioned in the previous video, I did like the way the game looked, and I like the music. But that's most of what this game has to offer, if I'm being honest. So you have what is this? The case files. You watch the end there. Yeah, this game's been called a first person. Yeah, it's been called a first person Phoenix Wright, which is kind of hilarious. But I barely touched that game. I rented a game from the library when I get my hands on it because the Switch version was available at the Maryland Library System a couple of months ago. So we're going through all the items of evidence that I obtained after this conversation. Well, we're bringing in the saxophone. Yeah, this is the Midnight Tsunami vibe, basically. The old school anime vibe. Question your motive. Do you have motive for killing the council? If someone's gonna make someone's gonna make an homage to this game, there's gonna pull some T Square music, and that will be the soundtrack. Yeah, what was that? Okay, what was that? What was that? Note that I just heard a while ago. Dun, 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 dun. I know that song. I know that song. It's okay. It's tearing me apart, Lisa. I know that song. Hold on. Let me turn it down for a little bit. I apologize. Well, it's not "Stay with Me Tonight," which I believe is also a Jeffrey Osborne song. Gosh, drive me nuts. I know that guitar stinger. Gosh darn it. I think it might be. I think it's a bass line, but whatever. Okay, the gods want you to kill the council. KH is missing. I'm not paying attention to any of the dialogue. I'm just grooving a bit. Dun, 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 dun. I know that damn. Ugh, it's driving me nuts. I know that. I know that stinger. So basically, we have this. We have this soundtrack, the Moving Out soundtrack, and the Mighty Goose soundtrack doing that '80s vibe, like leaning really heavy into the '80s vibe. Mm, mm, mm. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I know that freaking song. Ugh. It's like that episode of Married with Children where Al Bundy knows that song, but he only knows a few notes. And he takes it to everyone he knows, including some radio expert who can identify a song in like 4 notes. And Al Bundy stumps this guy. The name of the song was Go With Him, in case you're wondering. But the only reason I knew the song existed was because it was in Married with Children. I've seen way too much Married with Children. I've seen maybe 50, 60 episodes of it. As a teenager. It's that show you watch when you're a teenager. Back in the 90s, it was in reruns. So if you never watched Married with Children before the 1990s, before it popped off, once it hit that 65 episode mark, you probably watched a bunch of reruns by then. I remember there was a moment, I want to say, in the mid 90s where it was like the highest rated show. Speaking of neo soul in the 80s, this was the highest rated show in black households apparently. Like it was like Married with Children. No, it was Monday Night Football, Married with Children, and like one other show I forget. Because back then there weren't that many. I think this was after the Cosby Show, and after A Different World. In fact, no, that's right. A Different World, I think, was still going on in '94. But I remember in '95, you had the WB and UPN, obviously. But yeah, '95 was when you had, I think, Married with Children. Married with Children was kind of winding down. Yeah, obviously, yeah. A Different World was airing in 1992 because that's when they did that episode about the election, with Ross Perot and Bill Clinton and George Bush. And it was cute because they had three of the actresses in A Different World were each playing one of the. Yeah, they were each of the one of the each actress or three of the actresses were playing each of the candidates. So you had one of the ladies in like a cowboy hat with a Texas accent, pretending to be Ross Perot, basically. And again, remember this is '92, which is again this was the Hillary Clinton standing by my man Bill Clinton vibe. So even back in '92, the vibe was, is this first lady possibly going to be a president? Well, anyway. Did I say this? Did I say this video was political? Well, this is a video game about people who are coming out of exile for 3 million days, solving the murder of a council and island creators. So if you hang out, you get to unlock a bunch of stuff that I just did a second ago. So yeah, now they're saying come back later. Okay, fine. Yes, this is how they say goodbye. Yeah, everyone is saying may you reach the moon, which is over here somewhere. But when nighttime falls, it will be this massive texture in the background. You probably noticed that even though the world's 3D, all of the people you interact with, they're just 2D dioramas, see? Which cuts down on the polygon count. This game is available on the Switch, I've been told. I believe Chia Rodriguez over at Remap Radio. Chia played this game on a Switch when it originally dropped. And it sounds like a Switch game, You know, you roam around this. You're outside. You're at the park. You're chilling and vibing with this game, playing it for a few minutes, just to like talk to one dude. Wait, the music changed. End of the world. Okay, the music's changing again. But I guess every character has their own theme song, which makes sense. So did I pick up anything else? Yeah, I got everything else. Again, there might be some other interactable items here, but don't. Oh, there we go. This is our currency, the blood crystal, which you use to buy upgrades and unlock other items. I think there. I think you either pull up collectibles or other upgrades, collectibles, or other leads in the crime scenes. So I'm curious how this goes. Well, I'm not sure if the blood crystals are used to buy leads, because that's how you make progress. But I know you can buy upgrades. So we're gonna investigate. The first room that this is just a bitmap. The first room that I investigated in the first video was just one square, with just one box. Crying Grudge. Again, the names here, the nomenclature in this game is really off the wall, and I dig it. So we'll just go through all of these, press all the buttons. But apparently, like a lot of the stuff you find in this game is just lore dumping. Which is admittedly one of the things that's interesting about the game, is the lore dumping. But I do imagine, despite the game being very well regarded when it was reviewed, I do think it's going to be very polarizing. Because remember, in terms of gameplay, there doesn't seem to be any failure state. Like, there's no fall damage. And you're hoarding a lot of stuff. Like I'm doing. I'm hoarding blood crystals, I'm hoarding clues, I'm hoarding quests, but I'm not really completing anything. Okay, so I got a phone. So again, when you get evidence, it automatically appears in your case files. I can verify his alibi at a comms tower, but I don't know where the comms towers are, so we'll figure it out. Sometimes people will call you when you're wandering around. They'll just call you randomly, like Grand Marshal Akiko did. Yeah, she's in Romania. In 991. So yeah, apparently everyone here lives for thousands of years. So I guess we licked. So I guess we licked the whole. Yeah, I guess we licked the whole immortality thing. I don't know. So I guess if you never die, of course apparently it's supposed to be some kind of thread, some kind of theme in this game about nostalgia. And if everyone lives forever, are we just perpetually stuck in the 80s? There's a metaphor there somewhere. There is a metaphor there somewhere. We'll turn the music down a little bit. Why not? Okay, so I accidentally found that thing. Not complaining. Or did that thing just randomly spawn? I wonder if these things just randomly spawn after a while. So I should probably create a fast travel point here so I can get back to the elevator where what's his name is. So maybe that's the best way to do this. I don't want to fast travel to everything, but I want to fast travel to the the individuals here. Although, okay, I can't see what's behind her. Yeah, he's up there, okay. So if I ever need to get back here, I can do that. So how do I fast travel exactly? Let's check that out. We'll practice that. Give me a second. I thought I did unlock it. Splend one book. Okay, so I did. So maybe I forgot to unlock it. Okay. Oh, but it costs money to use. So maybe that's the thing. I've been told. Yeah, I've been told you might want to hoard them, but again, I'm curious if they respawn. Because that makes sense. Like if you're spending crystals, it makes sense that they would respawn. Okay, so it costs money to fast travel. Okay, so that sucks. Now I don't want to fast travel. Okay. That's the ghost. I spoke to Yuri Knight down there already. So pick a direction. There's a guard here, so we'll go to the guard. He's probably just gonna tell me to screw off. He's gonna tell me to clear off, which is fine, I guess. He's up there. See, I'm curious how I get up there. So there are some first-person platforming exploration puzzles, sure. Again, this feels like a very well-realized open world, so I appreciate that. So I unlocked this. Oh, okay, that's what's going on. Okay. So I don't want to save that. It's not. So now I don't want to save that, but. So now we're playing the Jan. So now we're playing Jan Hammer. We're playing the Jan. We're playing Jan Hammer from Miami Vice. Yes, the Miami Vice theme. Yeah, we got lots of guitars, lots of synth. It's great. Fantastic crystallized tank necklace. Pan for them. Okay. Nice touch. Where's the guard? Over there. Akiko, Lady Akiko's over there, I believe. I forget how to pronounce her name. The Polish lady. Island sequence. Yeah, these just feel like unlockables. If you want to do a completionist run, sure. Do these appear on the? I'm pressing the left trigger. I don't know if those things appear on my AR, my augmented reality, but you can see those little purple sticks right there in the distance. Yeah, these things. Those are save points, most likely, or computer terminals you can interact with. Oh, wait, got another interactable object. Silent goat. This gift allowed us to create the island sequences. Yeah, I want to say these island sequences are, I guess they're like worlds you create. Hold on, we got a nightmare interface. Okay, here we go. We got another one. A very light puzzle solving here. They're normally set up to see what's passed through a door. Okay. I can use starlight to help me gain access. I might be able to get some evidence. Okay, so we want a sheep. So shorthorn. Yeah, shorthorn. This doesn't feel like the right sheep. Yeah, over here. Get rid of that. Remove. So where's the shorthorn? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. With the horns. Okay, so that's key. So yeah, we're getting to more difficult puzzle solving here, but no, doesn't fit. Again, I don't think you can fail this, but I guess you could lose interest. Is this the police? Every breath you take, I'll be watching you. I'm missing one more of those. Are there more components down here, or do I not have them? There. Okay, so that one's okay. So we got 4 of these little. That's cute. Yes, we got 4 of these little things. Horns. No, doesn't fit. Uh, that horn? No, it doesn't fit. I got it. Okay, I got it. Because now we gotta do the sheep again. So if you pick correctly, it shows up on the map. It shows up on the screen that I'm decoding. Okay, we need a chin. Oh, I already did the chin. Now I need the head. So I need the ears. Yeah, I need the ears. The eyes and the ears. Okay. So we're doing that here too. Goat. No, it doesn't fit. So you're better off just removing a piece because it obviously doesn't fit. That doesn't fit. That does not fit properly. We need a longer curl. So maybe it's not that. If we need a longer curl, like that, that might be it. Yeah, that might be it. But where's the ear? Okay, that's not it. All right, I'm starting to see the logic here. Okay, so if it's magenta, well, that's not. We're doing the cyan magenta color theory here, in case you're wondering. That chin's too short. No. Huh. I should get into a difficult puzzle here. That might be it. Can I just do the left side first? Yeah, where's my horn? That doesn't look like the horn. Okay, get rid of that. We have two. That doesn't look like it. Yeah, by the way, this is also Weather Channel, the music. The soundtrack to the Weather Channel, if I'm being honest. Lady Blue. Yeah, it's that Weather Channel music. And I want to say there's actually a CD you can buy. This one's way harder than I thought. What gives? Do I have to overlap some of these? Yeah, do I have to overlap some of these? Wait. Oh, I did. I got that one right. See, it's at 17%. Okay. So I got that one right. Okay. So that's how you do it. You just randomly press buttons, I guess. You can just randomly press buttons until you get the right decoding percentage. Okay. So why even bother wasting any time on that? Almost done. Okay. So yeah, the percentage tells you how much you got right. Okay. There's only one route to the council building, and involves going through the syndicate HQ. Yeah. By the way, oh, what was that game? Quantum. It was that game. It was that hacking game about the three hackers talking about the dead colleague of theirs. Quantum. But yeah, I forget what it was. It was an indie game it was a first person indie game. But there was a lot more puzzle solving in it. I want to say it was from the guy. Was it Alan Kwan? Was his name? It was a guy who did a bunch of games that I hadn't played yet. They were all, I remember Tom Chick put it as one of his best game of 2019, I think. Quantum. I don't remember the name. Doom Jazz didn't leave his clinic. He was summoned by the judge. Okay, so I guess he has an alibi. Cool. So he has an alibi. He didn't leave it. So okay. So we're just again. It just feels like we're filling up. Or feels like we're filling up. We're filling in slots, but we're not really having to make choices with them. I don't think. So I got about 10 more minutes. Alibi breakers. This is the only way people have gotten to the council. Okay. So there are alibis and alibi breakers. That's an interesting way to sort this stuff. This feels like an Abby Russell game over at Giant Bomb. If you played, she played a lot of those Nancy Drew games. So now I'm wondering, how she would feel about this game. So I guess this game's better than the Agatha Christie Agent Poirot game that I played on this channel a while ago. Oh, we got a foot bath. I think I actually want to use this. Spend 5 crystals. That's fine. I have plenty more, so that's fine. She feels lighter on her feet, which means she can double jump. There we go. So you're gonna want that. That sounds like something you actually might want. These islands are weird. Oh, yeah. This should help out a lot. So let me at least document where this is. The foot bath. Okay. And we can turn that on. I don't even know what this does. Like, it doesn't. I don't even think it opens doors or anything. That's the elevator. So I guess that's the way you spot elevators. The foot bath doesn't appear on the augmented reality maps. That kind of stinks. Let's see. Who's nearby? There's a ghost down there. I think I already spoke to it. I think I already spoke to him. Okay, there's a body over there, so I guess I can go to the body. That's right. There are these two guys. There's a safe part. There's a safe spot here. See? The little pink safe spot right here. Okay? But I kind of wish I knew, where the fast travel points were. So we'll unlock this fast travel point. I got a skin. The warmth of the dawn sun scorches the night terrors away. Okay. Again, this game is very weird. It's very into its own. It's very into its own vibe. Huh. Like the whole vibe of this feels like a resort town. 80s. Someone called this Dead Mall Resort Town. I know someone called it a Dead Mall vibe, and I think it's more of a resort town vibe. Probably the same thing. Sort of a town center vibe. But again, I love the way this place is laid out. Like, I don't know if I actually want to explore it or memorize it, but it's a very good-looking place. I mean, the other problem is that it's not very well mapped, which is the other problem. So it feels like you're just kind of wandering around, stumbling across stuff constantly. I mean, it just feels like I'm stumbling across everything. Map is over here. Syndicate HQ. So that's where the foot bath was. But again, it's so easy to get lost in the foliage. All the architecture is so wild. Here we go. Is this the bloodletting area? Yeah. So you spend one of your crystals to quote bloodlet. Like I said, this looks like a discharge. That doesn't feel. That looks like a discharge. That's not pricking your finger. That's like straight up like putting a Monty Python-esque gash in your torso. What's this game rated anyway? I don't have the box in the other room. It's probably rated M. But you can turn off the sassy. You can turn off the mature content. So now I'm wondering what happens when you do the bloodletting. Okay, how do I get up there? Okay, this is a puzzle. I'm double jumping, but I can't get up there. That's probably a blood crystal. So I might be able to get up on that ledge and then fall down here. Because remember, there's no fall damage. Examine. Yeah, my best friend, who's also the cab driver, paints stuff. So her paintings are all around the place, apparently. I need more crests. How many do I have? I found 2. I think I actually used these. There are statues. There are goat statues, I want to say. And you put the crests inside the goat statues. But where am I exactly? This might be how you triangulate, if I'm being honest. Yeah. This actually might be how you triangulate. There is no compass in this game, to my knowledge. There is no compass. Now it's possible the statue is a. It's possible the pyramid could be the compass. But again, which way am I going? Might be part of the. Okay, so there it is. The pyramid is northeast. The deep factory, I think that's called, is due north. So that's northeast. I guess that's the factory. So I guess that factory over there is north. So that is northeast. So I guess that serves as sort of a waypoint I can document. Okay, here we go. So here are they. Here are the crests. What does this say? Yeah, but I don't have any of the. I don't have any of the gems. I need to find them. Okay, so that's where I am. Northeast. All right, so that's where I am. Syndicate headquarters looking northeast. So I can put the crystal. I might have to make a note of that because again, there's no easy way for me to find this place. I might need to. I actually might need to write this down, which is what I was afraid of. I was gonna have to write stuff down. Yeah, the blood vial. Is that the bloodletting I need to do? Upgrades. No upgrades. Relics. I think the crests are here. I don't know. Ill-fated ring pulls. So it's like when you collect aluminum pull rings for like cancer research, I think. Ill-fated. Escape to the moon's dark side during the Great Betrayal. Trying to drain the moon's power to complete its resurrection. Okay. Lots of gods here. I think they're like Egyptian gods. Some Syrian gods, I forget. But that's the deep. Is that the deep? Is that the deep factory they were talking about in the previous video? That's just a yacht. Dr. Doom Jazz's luxury yacht. Is he like famed Douglas? What's the line? If he's got a yacht, he screws a lot. I got this feeling. Okay, Shinji also pops up around here and has weird conversations with us. Apparently, he's holding up his middle fingers and his crotch is covered up. He's conspicuously covered up, which is kind of hilarious. Clinical, savage. Yep, just walk in, bullet to the head. You asked. Again, a lot of their conversations are like that. They're super elliptical. Sometimes they're sometimes they're sometimes they're amusing. Sometimes they're kind of fractious. I got the double jump. The guy dying from sadness. Again, these names, man. These names. I think Hideo Kojima should hire these guys. They should hire all these writers to rename all of the characters for Kojima's future games. Vile Embrace. A carnal god. Extreme sex. Here's a question. Okay, so here's my question. If I turn on the just for funsies, if I turn off the mature content, what happens? Okay, that's not considered mature. Extreme sex is not considered mature. Sure. Drifted to Earth. So we have the synthesized brass playing right now. That's great. Yeah, so yeah, Lady, what's her name's over here? Yeah, this is the brother. Yeah, this is the brother with the lamp, with the lamp base as a hat, right? Leader Montserrat. Yeah, that's how I saw Montserrat when I was exiled. Wait, what? Trial? Oh, is this a flashback? Okay, I guess this is a flashback. So how would you describe this guy's vibe? Again, the lamp base for a hat. It's a nice touch. The goat skull's nice. Dressed in white, got that what do they call it? Sartorial bliss is what they call it. So who plays this guy? Yeah. What's his name? Ali from Captain Phillips. and Battle Angel Alita. He could play this dude. Snide, protest. Those deceived by gods are victims, not criminals. Is this? Oh, this is not rain. I think this is just film grain. It's not rain. It's just film grain. To show you that's a flashback, of course. Yeah, well, it's like a worn tape. It's like a tape that can't. It's like a tape that's been worn down so much that it has these lines. And I'm sure some the hyper nerds know what those lines are. The material scientists and the engineers probably know what those lines represent. Because it looks like it represents wear on a tape that's been played back too often. I still have a bunch of tapes from the 90s, though. Like, I have a couple. I think I have like one tape from the late 80s. Because we had a VCR, but we never used it. I'm pretty sure I recorded most of the stuff on them. I think he was killed. Yeah, he's one of the leaders who was killed. Yeah, look at this. This is like a book cover. Like, who wrote the book, though? Did he write the book? Yeah, it's like a book cover. It's like they hired people who used to make book covers. It's hilarious. And here's the guard. Halt. None shall pass. I demand to see Carmelina. I'd hope so. She should know the investigator is on the island. I'm the investigator. Oh, okay. Roll credits. Game over. Whatever. Like, whatever. Carmelina silence. These names, man. Architect Carmelina. Oh, this is that Pure Mood song. Um this is kind of like Crockett's theme. It sounds like Crockett's theme from Miami Vice, Jan Hammer. But yeah, lots of pure moods. Pure moods. Yeah, pure moods. Pure Mood sold a lot of copies in the 90s, man. You can go on YouTube and look up the commercial for Pure Moods. They had Enigma's Return to Innocence. They had the song, they had the music, they had the music that played on during the Norwegian Air commercial. They had the theme to The Mission. The old the was it the Jean-Michel Jaffe movie? I forget. You know, that kind of it was one of those albums. The X-Files theme was on one of the Pure Moods albums. Sadness by Enigma was definitely on one of the albums. Best song on the album. Probably Jan Hammer's Crockett's theme. Gotta be. Yeah, Jan Hammer's Crockett's theme. No doubt. I mean, they're doing the whole Michael Mann vibe now. It's Manhunter, it's Thief. Yeah, where's my Tangerine Dream soundtrack? Perfect. So we have this. What was it? Far Cry Blood Dragon had the Mother Brain music. That was that same 80s vibe. That was great. I need to listen to that again. I remember really liking the Mother Brain music. Yeah, I know a lady. I know a lady who would really love this soundtrack, actually. It's like her vibe. Let's see. Knowledge of Last Night. So we'll end the video after this exchange. I would assist and have enough motive and the ability to kill the council, breaching all the holy seals. Okay. Admittedly, her character design with the dog isn't amazing, but you know, whatever. Most of the character profiles are really interesting. She seems actually kind of bland, but whatever. You're a disgrace. Okay. Yes is like
This is like Crockett's theme. Only it's more upbeat than Crockett's theme. Investigate. What about yourself? I'm not paying attention to any of the dialogue, by the way. How dare you, investigator? How dare you, comma, investigator? Austin Walker was commenting, yeah, like there's a lot of grammatically unkempt stuff sprinkled in there, so it does kind of feel incomplete. Like, yeah, it's an indie game with lots of weird. Actually, it wasn't Austin Walker, but another Reddit commenter's like, yeah, there's some weird grammar here and there. Probably near the end of the game, I bet. Which makes sense. There's a lot of dialogue here, so some stuff's probably gonna slip through the cracks. Because part of the problem with a game like this is that if you're like whipping out a whole bunch of dialogue trees, then it's gonna take you a while to kind of like, yeah, it's gonna take a while. You would have to like make every dialogue exchange airtight, which you can do if it's an essential dialogue exchange. Then yeah, you might want to like clean up that stuff. But all the incidental dialogue, the flavor text on the collectibles you get, maybe you're gonna let that slip through the cracks. It's just filler content anyway. So I get it. No further evidence to process. Okay. So again, we're unlocking slots in the case file. So again, we're just going down every item of the list and just you can't auto skip this, I believe. Okay, so what music does this sound like? Other than Weather Channel elevator music. And I admit it. Well, I think this is her music specifically. Because remember, every character has their own theme song, I believe. Witness to the end. So you have a new alibi for her, or an alibi for him. So it does a lot of the note taking for you, which is cute. But arguably makes the game like on rails. So that's probably a bit of an issue. So we can play good cop or bad cop. And again, I like how the two different poses reflect her tone of voice. So that's kind of cute. That's adorable. The fairy woman. I believe the fairy woman's my best friend. Well, my best friend is fairy woman. She's the woman who does the fast travel. But again, you got to pay her to fast travel in this game. So Yuri Knight has an alibi, courtesy of Carmelina. Okay. Doctor Doom, yes. KHX is missing. KHX. I don't know what that means. Look, KHX sounds like the name of an audio tape you would buy from the store. Actually, no, it's like a Max. It's like a Maxell model line. The KHX model line, like the KHK model line for high quality audio, or it could be like for a video cassette, like TDK SA. No, TDK SA hyphen X is the high grade audio cassette you would buy from TDK. But I forgot what they had a metal rating. They had a Type 4 metal rating, if you remember. I have a few of those tapes over here. They're in the closet up there. I'm looking at them. Not those. They're over there. Yeah, they're over there inside my cassette case. So we can hang out. So if we hang out, we can get a few more clues, I guess. So we can just hang out. We just chill and vibe to this vaporwave. It's a holiday weekend, so I guess I will be going. I will be leaving later. I have to sell a bunch of video games. It's the end of the month, so I got to sell a bunch of video games to East Starland. This is my alibi, in case you can't find me. I went to East Starland to sell a bunch of video games and probably bring back a copy of Chorokyu. Maybe Four Tails will be on sale at a good price. We'll find out. Surprised. Have you enjoyed having him? Can I pet him? If you must. The dog does not seem to want to be pet. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Yeah, so hanging out increases my relationship with her. Come back later. Get a silent goat walk with you. Yeah, so that's there. That's how you say goodbye. So it's like the religious exchange in Catholicism. If you go to mass, you say peace be with you and also with you. It's the same vibe. It's like when you're ready to end a conversation, you say peace be with you, and the other person's supposed to respond and also with you. That kind of thing. For people who grew up in the Catholic Church, they're probably familiar with that exchange. May you reach the moon. So we'll end the video once we get to a save spot, which should be. I don't see a purple thingy. Okay, hold on. Where's the factory? Is that the factory? I can't tell. Because I know that's the pyramid and that's northeast. Yeah, the pyramid is northeast. Okay, that music stinger just ended weirdly. Guess we'll deal with that later. So where am I specifically? Let's get my bearings. 8th Street Rose. Okay, so where's the yacht? Because if that's the, is that the yacht? No, it looks like a bridge. I don't know where the yacht is. Oh well, we'll figure that out later. So I spoke to the guard and her, and I think that those exclamation marks means I might have to go back and talk to them later. Okay. Oh, Shinji again. Birds aren't real, haven't you? Birds aren't real. Haven't you heard? What's that? What's that? Yeah, there's that a cyberpunk anime came out last year, 2024. Metallic Rouge. Yeah, the CIA bird drones were all over that anime apparently. I keep meaning to watch it because that's supposed to be a chillin' vibe cyberpunk anime, which sounds fascinating, actually. Again, it's a show don't tell, mise scene kind of thing. Which again, I prefer. I'm old school. I like my show don't tell storytelling. And anime should be doing more of that. Cinematic anime can just do montages without having characters do lore dumps all the time. Because we can investigate this scene. Whoa, wait. Can't get over there. Wait, hold on. I had my double jump. I made it. Okay. See, it all worked out. That's one of the crests, right? Yep, I needed that crest. So I got my double jump. So that foot bath worked out. Jump on the AC. Okay, we don't want to fall yet. Remember, the rule is always climb first, then fall. Pyramid. That's not the pyramid, is it? Yeah, the pyramid's over there. So what pyramids are those? So now I can't get my bearings anymore because I don't know which pyramid's the right one. Yeah, I also don't know which way I'm looking. Again, there's no compass in this game. So how do I get my bearings again? Map. We'll end the video pretty shortly. Give me a second. Again, I don't know which way I'm looking. Because all these things are pyramids. I think that was the Sky Prison where I left. Other elevator over there. So again, I don't know which way is. I probably just have to roam around a bit more to get my bearings, so I know which way north is. I guess I was hoping I would see a yacht from here. Okay, that's adorable. You got the planetarium ceiling. Someone called Neil deGrasse Tyson. Wait, are the stars right? The star texture might be wrong. Just saying. And also the stars are moving too fast. But anyway, who cares? Even Neil deGrasse Tyson doesn't care about that. He just wants to know if the layout of the star map is correct. No, wait. Okay. If there's something up there I want to be able to grab, I probably can't get there easily. Can I jump on? Can I jump on top of this wall? Hold on. Yeah. Can I jump on top of that? Yeah, if I can jump on top of this light, should be able to double jump up here. I can't make it. Okay, I'm also not jumping on anything. Okay, so I was jumping on the wrong thing, I think. Okay, I made it up. Just a second. Okay, I can't jump on top of that. There might be a trick. Give me a second. Yeah, there we go. Jump on the plants. Okay, now we're talking. Just a second. I also don't want to fall! Darn it! No fall damage. Oh. Well, I guess there is technically fall damage. Okay, so... guess I can go back and do that again. Again, I also don't know where I am. We have a save spot, okay. So I think that's a good place to stop. Drinks cost blood crystals. It'll cost 1 blood crystal. Yeah, the drinks cost 1 blood crystal. Kind of wish I would have explained that before I started buying them, but that's okay. I got a highball. I guess I'm just These are just for collectibles, I guess. So yeah, we have the ladder. Yeah, so I don't know how to. Yeah, maybe that's how I get down here. I have to fall down from a high point. Yeah, so it's one of those games. Lots of exploration, no combat, no real fail states. I respawned after falling off a roof. But why did I even need to respawn? Because remember, I literally just jumped from that sky prison up there, and then I landed here, and I didn't die. Just saying. I already unlocked this one. So I already unlocked that, so that's fine. Are there any stats that show how many times I died? I want to say no. No. So we're not gonna use the elevator. So where's my save point? The one I just passed. Okay. Where's the save spot? There it is. The magenta symbol right there. That's where I am. Alright, so we've unlocked fast travel. We're not going to pay for it. Although I will save here and then test test the fast travel before we leave. Because I can also let the music play us out. So where are we fast traveling to? So Lydia's going to do the fast travel pickup. That's right, I like Chrisette Michelle. Hey, babes! It's progressing. Am I on it? Still in charge of getting the syndicate off the island and on to the next, yeah. Oh, and she has the nose piercing. So there's also that. The septum piercing. Go through the gates and on to the next island and repeat. Okay, so I see so these are the fast travel spots. Oh, okay. But again, I don't know where I am. Paradise Gates. You can go all the way back there if you want. Now, why would I do that? Oh, there are probably multiple There are probably multiple save points inside each area. Yeah, these are the gates. Okay. Which makes sense. Yeah, that was the sky prison I jumped from. And there's the... I think that's the pyramid. That Minecraft-looking building in the distance. That's hilarious. I need to find the power switch, which is on the other side. Alright. Like I said, we're not going to save this. We'll just end the video here. Okay, so it just sends me back to the last save point. Did I find anything over here now that I wonder? I need to complete Cosmos. Okay, so I can't go through that gate. Okay, so we'll end it here. Recorded this music with my Plantronics headset with the big cans, plugged directly into the USB connection on a quad-core Celeron Windows 10 Education laptop. With the Windows 10 camera app capturing at 30 frames a second from the Vanco video capture device, which has an HDMI pass-through that I don't really need, but it lets me play on my TV with less input latency. But again, this game's running at 30 frames a second, so who cares? So, video number 2 is done for Paradise Killer on the Xbox One. Later days.